Welcome everybody to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Let's get it. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis and breaking news. Crypto News Alerts is now officially in Espanol. That's right, the channel can be found at espanol.cryptonewsalerts.net. All clips are 100% dubbed in Espanol with closed captioning available in Spanish, English, German, Dutch, and Hindi. Let's get it. Also breaking news, ex-BlackRock director says the SEC will approve all the spot Bitcoin ETFs within the next 3 to 6 months. Can you say supply shock? Let's get it. Also, Max Kaiser quoting him here. Bitcoin is about to become the world's monetary standard. $220,000 per Bitcoin short term in play. Send it. We'll also be discussing the latest with Bitcoin still beating the US dollar versus eggflation. I'll be breaking down the latest Fed data as well as the latest update from former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried as his trial commences day 3 in court. We'll also be discussing Volcano Energy launching the first Bitcoin mining pool in El Salvador, which is a pretty big deal, as well as the BitMEX founder Arthur Hayes projects a $750,000 to $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2026. Quoting him here, I think it'll be the biggest boom in financial markets we have ever seen in human history. Preach. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. And a quick reminder to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And if you gain value out of today's show, the greatest compliment you can do, smash that like button as it helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. And with that being shared, fam, welcome everyone to pod episode number 1422. I'm your host, JV. Today is October 5th, 2023. Massive shout out to everyone in the live chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And at the end of the show, I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud. So let's kick off today's show with our market watch as we do here each and every day. We can see overall the crypto market correcting back in the red, but Bitcoin holding on to around that 27,500 mark. We also have Ether trading just above $1,600. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, we're currently sitting at 1.08 trillion as far as the market cap, with roughly 28 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance on the rise, on the cusp of smashing 50%, currently at 49.7%, with the Ether dominance on the decline at 18%. How high do you think that Bitcoin dominance is likely to rise this cycle? Let me know. Do you think 60%, 70%? Holla at your boy. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers of the past 24 hours, Toncoin leading the pack, up 6%, trading above $2, followed by the Trust Wallet token, which is trending according to CoinMarketCap, up 5%, trading above 93 cents, followed by Aave, up about 4%, trading at $67.77. Which altcoins are you currently most bullish are? Drop the name in the chat. And as you can see here, the top 100 gainers for the past week, mostly a sea of red, with the biggest losers being XRD, Ape, and Gala, and the biggest gainers being Toncoin and Trust Wallet token. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated a 49, which is neutral. Yesterday was a 50, last week a 44 in fear, and last month a 40 in fear. So there you have it. How many of you have been taking advantage of this recent dip as we currently are in October? Let me know, fam. And now let's break down today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the Bitcoin price action is likely to go next. And again, welcome to y'all just joining us. I appreciate you tuning in to the live show. Bitcoin rejected at 28,000 after the October 5th Wall Street Open as a return towards the 6-week high failed. As you can see here in the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart, data from Cointelegraph and TradingView followed Bitcoin price action as the bulls attempted to match the levels from earlier in the week. This encountered problems just above that 28,000 level. However, with the subsequent hourly candle sending the market down up to $700 or 2.5%, commenting on the status quo, we have material indicators who shared the following. If you didn't see this rejection coming, then you might want to evaluate your tools because both TA and trend precognition indicated a high probability of a rejection. He also shares that doesn't mean we won't see another attempt because we probably will. Now, he also says, so far the key moving averages are serving as strong technical resistance and support. Breaking this range to the upside is a possibility for this month. If it happens, a lot of people are going to get wrecked along the way. He also points out a close above the 200-week moving average would fuel the bullish hopium puff puff pass. How many of you want to take some hits from the hopium bong? do it up. A close between the 21-week moving average keeps Bitcoin ranging between 25 and 28 until something breaks. Others were more optimistic, quoting crypto analyst Michael van de Poppe, who says Bitcoin's ready to tackle 30,000 resistance. He shares few levels of importance for Bitcoin here. Holding above 27,200 would be substantial for upwards continuation, but preferably is a retest at 26.7 to 26.9 before we'll continue to rally to 30,000. The sentiment flipped quite fast. Now let's discuss trader tapping the RSI for Bitcoin price bottom. Quoting analysts right here, currently the RSI stands at 51. The patience is the key. We might be best for waiting for the RSI to drop below 30.35 to buy the dip. And he also uploaded a chart showing a classic sell signal, which you can see on your screen, coming at the start of October, implying a new buy signal could come next, forming a Bitcoin local low. But what are your thoughts, fam? Where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to head next? Don't be a stranger. Let me know in the live chat. And as I mentioned earlier in the intro, Crypto News Alerts Espanol is officially live. That's right. You can now visit us at espanol.cryptonewsalerts.net. The channel looks like this. I just uploaded 2 videos this morning, and moving forward, there's going to be videos every single day dubbed in Espanol. So let's get it. And as well as the current show you're watching is also subtitled now in Spanish and all the major languages. So, language shouldn't prevent anyone from getting orange pilled. And breaking news just coming in as well. Our next story of the day, ex-BlackRock director says the SEC will approve all the spot Bitcoin ETFs within the next 3 to 6 months. Now, it doesn't get much more bullish than that, considering we have a Bitcoin halving scheduled to take place in roughly 6 months' time in April of 2024. So imagine getting the approval of the Bitcoin ETFs and the Bitcoin halving in the same year, combined with a supply shock. Game on. New all-time highs incoming. Just saying. So let's break this story down because this is a pretty big deal. Even Max responded to it. Bitcoin is about to become the world's monetary standard. 220,000 per Bitcoin short term in play. Send it and let's freaking go. So here's the story. Former BlackRock managing director, we all know BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world, who now serves as the CEO of Market Vector Indexes, predicts the US SEC will approve a spot Bitcoin ETF within the next 3 to 6 months. He shared his estimate during a panel discussion on ETFs at CC Data's Digital Asset Summit in London, where he was joined by another ex-BlackRock director, Martin Bednall, and now CEO Jacoby Asset Management. Now, his response came after Bendall earlier's comment that the SEC will probably approve all ETF apps simultaneously and doesn't want to give anybody the first mover's advantage, which had been rumored here recently in the market. Previously, the Market Vector CEO estimated approval would take 9 to 12 months. Still, he noted the SEC's recent decision to delay verdicts on several pending ETF apps deviates from their previous tactics. Now, Schneufeld, if I'm pronouncing this dude's name right, noted that instead of rejecting the whole list, they asked for comments, which is a marginal but significant improvement in dialogue. There's also the Grayscale lawsuit, which we know, which the SEC lost, which means they will most likely have to allow the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust to be converted into an ETF. Send it. That's going to be major, fam. Grayscale currently holds over 600,000 BTC, so game on. Now, BlackRock, the financial powerhouse currently managing just shy of 10 trillion in assets under management, is in a strong position to secure approval for the spot Bitcoin ETF through its pending application with the SEC. That is underscored by BlackRock's remarkable track record of getting the ETFs approved by the SEC with a success rate of 575 to 1, virtually meaning they've had 575 apps for ETFs be approved by the SEC and only ever had one denied. Goes to show you the power of BlackRock. Now, the transformation in BlackRock's stance on crypto is noteworthy, as CEO Lawrence Fink, who once criticized Bitcoin, now acknowledges its potential as a digital alternative to gold. Now, during the panel discussion, we had Martin Bednall expressing confidence in BlackRock's ability to leverage its brand strength and resources, potentially giving it a first mover's advantage if the SEC begins approving those spot Bitcoin ETFs. So where you at? No Claire Gare? Just saying, it's about time. Schneufeld noted that his company conducted analysis suggesting that approving spot ETFs could lead to an inflow of 150 to to $200 billion entering into Bitcoin investment products over the next 3 years. And I think that's extremely conservative, fam. What are your thoughts? This influx of capital could potentially double or even triple the current assets under management in Bitcoin products. However, Schoenfield offered a more measured perspective to Bednall's suggestion. He emphasized BlackRock may strive to dominate the market, while several other firms are deeply committed to tradable digital assets, some of which have closer ties to the crypto ecosystem. He anticipated BlackRock may face significant competition in the space. All I gotta say is this: competition is a beautiful thing as the Bitcoin game theory continues in full effect. Could you imagine every major asset manager that currently has a spot Bitcoin ETF application with the SEC being approved like a domino effect? Game on, bring it. I love it. And the Bitcoin market of true price discovery is also going to enjoy that competition as well. So send it and let's go. Now let's discuss the latest between Bitcoin and the US dollar, because interestingly, the strength of the dollar has been going up, but Bitcoin has been going up as well, whereas they're typically, you know what I mean? There is an inverse correlation between the two. So let's break this baby down. Bitcoin is beating inflation better than the United States dollar. The US Fed says, but unintentionally. In a blog post they just recently released comparing buying eggs with Bitcoin compared to dollars, still with surprising results. So here's some of the data shared from the report. Bitcoin hodlers arguably may have better use cases for the Bitcoin holdings than buying eggs, but that is the topic of a dedicated Fed blog post that attempts to demonstrate Bitcoin's uncompetitive buying power versus the dollar. Sure. Believe nothing the Fed says, fam. To do so, its anonymous author measured the price of a dozen eggs in Bitcoin and US dollars since January of 2021. Here's what they found. The price fluctuates quite a bit between 28.29 and 60.86 Satoshis, which is much more than it did for the US dollar price. And they concluded, plus you need to add a Bitcoin transaction fee, which has been about $2 lately, but can spike above 50 on occasion. Not using the Lightning Network, fam, just saying we got layer 2 protocols available. Hopefully, if you were making this purchase with Bitcoin, you'd put many, many more eggs in your basket. Good Lord. The charts included nonetheless show that since reaching the peak in both currencies of December of 2022, the number of Satoshis required to purchase the same dozen of eggs decreased more than the equivalent in dollars, which I would expect. Bitcoin hodlers require 70% fewer sats for the purchase as of August of this year, the latest month for which the Fed available data tool, versus 58% fewer dollars. Now, compared with the start of 2021, egg cost is higher for both currencies, 39% versus 73% for the US dollar and Bitcoin. So respectively, the arbitrary time frame comparison remains less than helpful. The price of eggs is a fraction of what it was during Bitcoin's last pre-halving year of 2019. So eggflation seen in 2023 is a comparative blip on that landscape. And in dollar terms, the picture is one of a solid price increase. The average in mid-2019, for example, was barely above $1.20 per dozen, or 40% less than now. Now let's discuss this ongoing recession looming at large. As reported, attention is focusing on the greenback this month as the US dollar index balloons to new one-year highs as they continue to print. Actions by foreign states may seek to redress the imbalance as their currencies suffer, analysts suggest, while under the hood, the US economy is showing those warning signs. Couldn't be any more clear. Recession in 2024 is becoming increasingly likely, with even the Fed's own data putting the odds at near 60% in September, while bond yields rocket in a fit of what is known as bear steepening. So there you have it, fam. Now, obviously, the purchasing value of the dollar is mathematically guaranteed to go down against the purchasing power of Bitcoin. So keep stacking them sats, because inflation is a tax on the poor. And it's very, very unfortunate, but the middle class is being destroyed, and there's just going to be those with and those without BTC. I truly mean that. So start stacking them stats while you still can. Still a great opportunity to do so. You got Bitcoin at more than a 60% discount from that all-time high we reached back in November of 2021 of 69,000. And with that being shared, fam, now let's discuss the latest updates regarding Sam Bankman-Fried and the trial, which court commences today for day 3. So here's the latest updates of what has been shared thus far. Here we go. Reporters are on the ground in New York for the trial of former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried as the saga unfolds. Here are the latest updates. Here's a picture taken in front of the court building, bright and early, shared on X this morning. A liability of $8 billion from Alameda to FTX was at the center of the prosecutor's cross-examination of Adam Yedidia, October 5th. Now, he is a close friend of Bankman-Fried and was the developer at FTX. Good to note. He was also one of the 10 people to live in Bankman-Fried's $35 million luxury resort in the Bahamas. And according to his testimony, since early 2021, FTX used an Alameda account labeled North Dimension to deposit the user funds while facing difficulties opening its own bank account. The funds would be considered Alameda's liability towards FTX, which reached $8 billion in June of last year. And while he was aware of the funds sent to Alameda's account, he didn't see it as a concern when he first heard about it back in 2021. However, after learning about the liability amount in 2022, he voiced his concerns to Bankman-Fried during a tennis game. Interesting. According to him, Bankman-Fried said the debt should be settled between the companies within 6 months to 3 years. And you can see people taking photos outside of the courtroom here. Someone even has a sign that says unfair. Now, I trust Sam, Caroline, and others in Alameda to handle the situation, he said, answering questions from prosecution. Now, upon learning that Alameda was not only holding the funds, but using them to pay its debtors, he resigned in November of 2022. And while prosecutors used the case to illustrate how the companies were commingling funds, Bankman-Fried's defense counsel sought to share the broader picture of FTX and Alameda's research relationship with the jury. The defense highlighted FTX was growing fast, with its leadership working on 10 hours a day during the 2021 bull market, including Bankman-Fried, who oversaw several parts of the company at that time. The defense counsel also pointed out that he had been under several inquiries from prosecutors under an immunity order, meaning cooperation with prosecutors would protect him from facing any charges regarding his role at FTX. And according to Bankman-Fried's defense, FTX's difficulties opening a bank account and its reliance on Alameda's North Dimension to deposit the funds were well known. And his friend said cross-examination will resume this afternoon in the federal courtroom in Lower Manhattan. Now, the first hours of Bankman-Fried's trial offered a glimpse of the arguments of the Department of Justice and the former FTX CEO's defense, which will bring into court the coming weeks. After a jury selection in the morning, both parties gave opening statements to the 12-person jury present in the court. The Department of Justice took a tough stance against Bankman-Fried in its first statement, portraying the FTX founder as someone who deliberately lied to investors to enrich himself and expand his crypto empire, which seems to be precisely what he did. And according to the DOJ, Bankman-Fried lied to the FTX customers and investors using Alameda as a key partner to steal customers' funds. Preach. At least they ain't holding no punches, a phrase that was frequently used during the opening statements. And you can see someone holding a sign here, SBF is evil. Now, as per the trial preview, the Department of Justice will focus on arguments on allegations that Bankman-Fried misled customers, investors, and lenders regarding the safety of their funds while using Alameda to steal their money and influence politicians in Washington. The defense, meanwhile, brought arguments about SBF being a young entrepreneur who made business decisions that didn't work out. The defense denied the existence of secret transactions between Alameda and FTX or a backdoor used to steal the customer funds. According to the previous arguments presented, all transactions were legitimate or made in good faith by Bankman-Fried. During the crypto market downturn and the subsequent collapse of FTX in November of 2022, the defense also highlighted the role of Binance in the bank run that led to the FTX collapse. Testimonies will continue throughout the day, and according to the defense, Bankman-Fried assumed FTX was allowed to loan funds to Alameda as part of a business relationship with the market maker, and there was no secret door for transactions between the companies. Yeah, sure, Bankman. Prosecutors also noted Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, and Nashad Singh will offer the jury insider details to Bankman-Fried's role in FTX's operations and alleged crimes. However, the defense pointed out that the cooperation agreement with the government, they were supposed to give testimony against Bankman-Fried, raising doubts about their credibility. The defense downplayed the accusations against the nature of the relationship between FTX and Alameda, arguing that FTX's margin traders were aware of the risks associated with the transactions. Quoting them here, "There was no theft," the defense claimed. "It is not a crime to be the CEO of a company that files for bankruptcy." Well, it is a crime to commingle funds and to steal your customers' funds for your own personal investments. I think that, my friend, is a fact. And let's fast forward here again, October 3rd, the trial all began with the jury selection, and we're going in on full gear here today. Bankman-Fried was ordered to be jailed on August 11th after Kaplan found that his sharing of former Alameda Research CEO Caroline Ellison's personal papers amounted to witness intimidation. Alameda Research was a trading house also founded by Bankman-Fried, and previously he had been under house arrest in his parents' home in Stanford, California on a $250 million bond. So anyways, fam, I mean, this story is going to be ongoing for the weeks ahead. I'll be keeping you posted with the latest developments. But how do you feel this is all likely to play out for the former FTX CEO? Do you think he'll just get a slap on the wrist at the end? Or do you think he's going to be serving some serious prison time, as the max sentence, they say, could exceed 100 years in prison? There's quite a few felonies he is being alleged of, guilty of. So we shall see how this plays out. Anyways, fam, now for breaking news coming out of El Salvador with Volcano Energy, and then we'll dive into the latest prediction from the BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes, saying that the Bitcoin price will likely hit $1 million by the year 2026 on a brand new prediction never shared before here on Crypto News Alerts. But first, let's discuss Volcano Energy, shall we? Volcano Energy announced a strategic partner with Luxor Tech to launch Lava Pool, the first Salvadoran Bitcoin mining pool. The company is a startup focused on harnessing renewable energies for Bitcoin mining operations in the country, stated that it will only mine Bitcoin through this new pool. Volcano Energy, which came out of stealth mode in June, announced a Tether-backed $1 billion investment and is building a 241 megawatt renewable energy mining facility in Metapon using solar and wind energy. Now, Lava Pool is another step towards building a fully integrated Bitcoin company, according to Volcano Energy's CSO, Gerson Martinez, who states here, "Our vision is to create a vertically integrated energy and Bitcoin mining company whose value is accretive to investors and to all the Salvadoran citizens." Martinez emphasized that Lava Pool was an example of El Salvador's first mover's advantage as a nation state in the Bitcoin ecosystem. He also explained that another advantage that the country brings for establishing a Bitcoin mining pool is the existence of clear regulations, given that he considers El Salvador as the only country with the regulatory clarity and the business climate that provides stability and predictability for Bitcoin businesses. Now, Luxor, which operates as one of the top 10 Bitcoin mining pools, will provide Lava Pool participants with Bitcoin hedging strategies to mitigate losses in the case of market volatility. The company stressed that it supported the decentralization objective of El Salvador on this move, quoting their COO, Ethan Vera here, "The ethos of Bitcoin mining revolves around geographical decentralization, and the development of Bitcoin mining pool infrastructure in El Salvador will contribute to this goal. We are excited to partner with Volcano Energy to launch Lava Pool and support their mission in El Salvador and Latin America more broadly." Now, Volcano Energy had declared before that 23% of its net income would be paid to the Salvadoran government, reinvesting part of these profits into revitalizing the current power transmission and distribution infrastructure. So there you have it, fam. And massive shout out to Max Kaiser and Stacy Herbert for making Volcano Energy all possible. We all know it's going to take a few years to set up shop to be able to use geothermal mining, which means using the energy from the volcano to mine the BTC. So right now they're using wind and solar and other clean energy sources. I think this is fantastic. As you know, many countries in Latin America especially have access to volcanoes. So what Bukele is doing out there in El Salvador is going to lay the blueprint for the rest of the world. Free energy, what better way to be mining some BTC? You know what I mean? With that being shared, fam, now for the latest from Arthur Hayes, the BitMEX founder, followed by his $1 million Bitcoin price prediction. This was just recently in the news. He made an X post on this just yesterday. I wanted to discuss this. U.S. Treasury yields are screaming higher. And with that, Hayes believes that a macroeconomic flashpoint is only a matter of time. The reason comes in the form of a so-called bear steepener, a phenomenon that describes long-term interest rates rising more quickly than short-term interest rates. Why do I love these markets right now? When yields are screaming higher, bank models have no concept of a bear steepener occurring, he shared. Now, given the current steep rise in the 2030 curve, the difference between the 30-year and the 2-year yields, combined with rising long and short-term interest rates, the pressure across the economy is rising. So due to the leverage and nonlinear risks embedded in banks' portfolios, they will be selling bonds or paying fixed on IRS as rates rise. Now, more selling begets more selling, which is no bueno for bond prices. The result should be clear: a return to mass liquidity injections, counteracting the quantitative tightening since late 2021, which has pressured the crypto markets. So for Hayes, this cannot come without major casualties along the way. As he concludes here, the faster this bear steepener rises, the faster someone goes belly up, the faster everyone recognizes there is no way out other than money printing to save government bond markets. The faster we get back to the crypto bull market, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not wait. Now, separate data from TradingView shows the 30-year U.S. government bond yields hitting 5% this week, a first since August of 2017, before the global financial crisis we witnessed in 2008. Now, continuing the discussion, crypto analyst Philip Swift, creator of statistics resource Look into Bitcoin, he shared his support for Hayes' prognosis alongside this chart. That would be the major catalyst for the Bitcoin bull market. He shared about the theoretical return to money supply expansion. Now, alongside the U.S. continues to add its record high national debt at an astonishing pace. 2 weeks after the debt tally passed 33 trillion for the first time, the government increased its total by 275 billion in just a single day. As outlined here by Joe Consorti, total U.S. debt just rose to 275 billion in one day, the same amount as last month's total borrowing. Yet unskilled military-aged foreign men are invading, violent criminals caught and released, open-air drug use, American culture in shambles, and and Samson Mao, quoting him here, that's something like 10 million BTC, and yet there are still people that are unsure if 27,000 is a good buy price. Preach. And now let's break down Arthur Hayes' $750,000 to $1 million Bitcoin price prediction for the year 2026. He just recently shared this, and this has never been shared before. The next Bitcoin cycle may lead to unprecedented price growth, at least according to the BitMEX founder, Arthur Hayes. Shout out to Just Blaze. Let's go. Yes, let's break it down. In a new interview, he shares his bullish outlook on the Bitcoin price, projecting a staggering $750,000 to $1 million per coin for the leading crypto by 2026. Less than 3 years out. Let's get it. In the interview, Hayes discusses several factors contributing to his optimistic Bitcoin price forecast, including Bitcoin's limited supply, the prospect of Bitcoin spot ETFs in major regulated markets, and geopolitical uncertainty. Hayes further emphasized the fundamental aspect of Bitcoin's fixed supply, capped at 21 million coins. This scarcity, he believes, will drive increased demand as more investors seek to acquire a piece of the limited supply. That's right. And as I commonly share, there's less than 50 million millionaires in the world. There's only a finite limited supply at 21 million Bitcoin. That means not even half the millionaires on planet Earth can be considered a whole coiner. So let that sink in, fam, and keep on stacking them sats. Anyways, still, it's worth noting that Hayes positioned these comments within a larger bullish macroeconomic environment in which he projected all asset prices to increase. Quoting him here, I think it'll be the biggest boom in financial markets we have ever seen in human history. Bitcoin will have a ridiculous price. NASDAQ will have a ridiculous price. The S&P will have a ridiculous price. Pick your stock industry, he said. And at the heart of his analysis is the idea that the central bank monetary policy will force the investors to buy up the assets at high interest rates again to become undesirable, quoting him here, as we get some kind of financial disturbance and people realize that real rates are negative. If governments are growing nominal at 5%, 10%, 6%, people at the market will start buying other stuff. Crypto is one of those things. And while Hayes is 1 million price prediction for Bitcoin by 2026 may seem ambitious. His near-term projections are more muted, suggesting he sees Bitcoin being stuck in the $30,000 range for this year, with the possibility of a $70,000 Bitcoin price by 2024. This is more in line with other industry analysts who see fog as Sam Bankman-Fried's ongoing trial as leading significant headwinds. That said, in the end, Hayes' bullish outlook serves as a reminder of the ongoing evolution of the crypto landscape and the potential for Bitcoin to play a significant role in reshaping the future of finance. That is right. I mean, you're calling it right here. I'm going to repeat one more time. I think this will be the biggest boom in financial markets we have ever seen in human history, quoting the one and only Arthur Hayes, projecting a $750,000 to $1 million Bitcoin price by the year 2026. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Arthur Hayes. And shout out to everyone in the live chat today. Appreciate everyone's support. D. James, what it do? Ellen, Boz Dragon, MK still stacking. Good to see you, fam. Tectonic, Doug Joseph, Digital Dankness. Shout out to the mods, Bitcoin Maximus. Good to see you, fam. As always, Cushy04, Knife Eats. Welcome, Jason Bitmarch. Welcome, Passive Income AI. Welcome, Chris Demarator. Welcome. Appreciate you guys. As always, what is popping? What is new? I'm going to start reading everyone's comments out loud. Good to see ya. Sailing with Twins. Always a pleasure, fam. You're on a yacht. Sailing with Twins is always sailing around the world. Take his name literally because he's always out sailing with his twins. South Africa in the building. Good stuff, fam. Appreciate the support. I will buy a yacht one day. Got my eyes on a silent yacht. Says Cushy04. Good stuff. Flying yachts. That's a whole nother level. I'm pretty sure silent yachts can be an owner run, but I know jack about yachting. I will need to spend some time on the yachts to pick some smart people's brains about the yachts. Says Cushy04. Word up. Uber Hodler, welcome. Anyone else find it too improbable that a retired investment banker from Solomon Brothers with cancer just happened to be in the jury pool and make it through voir dire? I actually predicted it. That is interesting. Yeah, it is what it is. What up, Justin? What up, guys? Good to see you. JV, appreciate you. That would be me, fam. Much love. What do you guys think about the subtitles on the show now? You can find it in your favorite language. And we also now have the dedicated Espanol channel. So hopefully you guys help support it. Only thing I learned in Spanish, where's the cold beer? Gotta love it. Beer, woman, and money. That's all one ever needs. This passive. This is pod number 1422. That is correct. Just in, Trump is expected to attend the GOP's closed candidate forum House Speaker on Tuesday, according to Fox News. He'll be nominated by several members of the House. Good to note. Anyone know why Coinbase Pro stopped months ago? It got replaced with another product. It's called something else now. It just is what it is. I know Coinbase Pro was around for many years. They just replaced it with a new product. And I believe you need a subscription to that new product. And when I compared the fees versus Binance, this was several months back, Binance ended up being much cheaper in fees compared to even the updated Coinbase product. So, and I know Dankness is working on a video outlining the cheapest exchanges as far as the fees, on the top crypto exchanges in the United States for, United States investors. I'm sure whenever that is live, he'll be sharing it with the fam. I hear you. I got my guns here in Philly. Oh boy. So much more crime now than pre-Biden. That's sad to hear, fam. Increasing crime seems to be a trend, especially in the United States. We can't say that in El Salvador. El Salvador transformed from being the most violent and dangerous country in the world to becoming amongst the safest, up there now with Canada. So United States is falling fast, all I gotta say. Another ish-hole place, live it up, exactly. I mean, it is what it is. I'm about to buy 3 more Bitcoins. This cushy will take me a week or 2 to get the funds. I hope we drop again for that. Well, for your sake, I hope Bitcoin drops so you can get as many sats on the low. But we all know sometimes Bitcoin tends to move up. We shall soon see. All I'm going to do all day is sit on my yacht and blow smoke rings all day, says Cushy. Well, you have the prerogative to do so, fam. Yeah, welcome, Ashley. Good to see you. Sean Downey sitting on 1.984 Bitcoin is already life-changing for me and my family. Massive congratulations. TI, what up, peeps? JV, glad to be here. What's good, TI? Appreciate you tuning in. Statwise Jenks, there is no good ETH buy without a supply cap. And what's interesting, if you guys go to CoinMarketCap right now and you click on Ethereum and you look at the total supply cap, it'll show you an infinity sign. That's not a good look. That virtually means there is no defined supply cap, where with Bitcoin you'll see it'll say 21 million, meaning there can never be more supply than that. Ethereum is a mystery, and that's part of the reason I do not trust Ethereum. You know what I mean? One of the many reasons. Brilliant idea to have your show in Spanish, says Ashley. Are you going to do this in other languages too? Portuguese may be great for the people in Brazil. I could add subtitles virtually in any language. That's easy for me to set up. But to set up a channel in a dedicated dubbed language does take me some extra time. So we're going to start with the Espanol channel. And if that grows very successfully, I'll ponder creating additional channels as well. But right now I have 3 YouTube channels. Plus I have the Rumble, so I kind of got my hands full. Right now we got our main YouTube channel, which you're probably streaming this live from right now, Crypto News Alerts. Then we have the Clips channel, which was recently created about a month ago. Already got over 500 subs, and we're uploading anywhere from like 5 to 10 clips per day, shorts and clips dedicated on the Clips channel. To support the Clips channel, visit clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. And I just launched the Espanol channel officially today. I'm going to be taking the clips from the Clips channel and ultimately putting them in the Espanol channel, only they first got to be dubbed in Spanish. So yeah, we're growing, and I appreciate all the support, fam. Much love, much respect. Thank you. Melda, welcome. What it do? J-Dub the Laker 21 mil. Good to see you. Just kicked it with Crypto News Alerts fam, Coin Father at Pacific Bitcoin. I saw the picture he shared in our Telegram chat. Man, the conference is lit. Happy to hear that, fam. Good stuff. Keep us posted with what you learn there, and be sure to post a lot of photos so we can check it out. Rodrigo de Jesus just went over the coins that I have. If all of my coins hit an all-time high, I should have 1 million. Is that the right way to look at it? Yes and no, meaning there is no right or wrong way to look at anything. Sometimes we may have an altcoin that gets wrecked and in hopes just return to the all-time high. Kind of like people who hold XRP. Remember in 2017, XRP hit like $4, and now it's been like suppressed at 50 cents for how many years, and everyone's just praying as soon as it returns to the all-time high, I will be rich again. But some altcoins will never return to their all-time high. So it depends upon the project, the use case, the utility, and so many other factors. The one crypto I am 100% confident that will absolutely return to its all-time high is the one and only decentralized cryptocurrency, better known as Bitcoin. There is no doubt in my mind Bitcoin enters price discovery mode, smashing the 69,000 all-time high here in the upcoming year in 2024. Again, we got Bitcoin halving, the biggest catalyst to be bullish about, mixed with institutional money from the approval of a BlackRock or Fidelity or an institution approval of a Bitcoin ETF in the United States, mixed with a supply shock. Is going to be game on. I'm anticipating new all-time highs in price discovery mode next year, and I think by 2025 we hit that cycle peak. Sky's the limit, or as I should say, there is no limit to the sky. So we'll see how high we shall climb. What up, Ellen? How you doing in New York? I saw there were massive floods over there. Hopefully you're safe. I'm finishing up my degree over the next few months. Been crazy busy with it. I'll try to make it when I can. Word up, Matthew. Do your thing. We finally had a week of warm weather, so spending every day outdoors. Right on. Enjoy it in your garden there, Ellen. 83 degrees Fahrenheit every day. Beautiful. What's good, J-Dub? Yeah, always good to get outside. 100% absorb that vitamin D3. Always a good thing from that sunshine. I got mine from the farm for $3.50 a dozen. Eggs here, depending upon the supermarket you buy them from, I've seen eggs from $3 in Puerto Rico a dozen to $12 a dozen. So it all depends on the store. Sam allegedly plays tennis or one of those games using a tennis court. Apparently, Allegedly. Hey all, JV Cornwall, England watching Let's Go Bitcoin. Shout out to the Fairground Fun Fairs UK. Appreciate the support. Last week, Congressman Emmer asked for Gary Gensler's notes of all the meetings with SBF's parents and SBF relatives, and Emmer has asked for them the past year. Gary won't turn them in. I wonder why. Can you say Gary is a shady mofo? Mike McGlone is a trader on Wall Street. That's right. He's going to have plenty of balls to fetch in jail soon, says Passive, referring to SBF. He is a creepy Democrat, says Ellen. Uber hodler says decent chance that banker hangs the jury. The banker went to Stanford and worked for Solomon. Can't make this stuff up, right, Uber? Yes, SBF is creepy and evil. And I heard he finally cut his afro. He's no longer trying to impress people with his I'm too rich to care look. You know what I mean? SEC has until Friday to respond to the courts, explaining why ETFs haven't been approved after approving other Bitcoin products. If they fail to respond, the court will then instruct the SEC on what to do next. Well, obviously, Gary is going to have to be told what to do. Congress already pressed him last week and said, we want Bitcoin ETFs and ETPs approved in the United States immediately. So the pressure is on. Let's see what Gary does about it. Let's hope that the SEC are made obsolete. Preach, Ellen. Never assume, folks. SEC is already obsolete, in my opinion, says Cushy. Word. Love that. House arrest, really? I mean, anything is possible with these criminals. I'm watching the price action like a hawk. I haven't got much dry powder available, though. I need to start selling stuff on eBay. Sometimes you just got to do whatever you got to do, fam. Make it happen. Shout out to Boz Dragon. Appreciate you. Oh, Biden will let SBF go. Of course, he was the second largest donor to the Biden administration, SBF. So they're working hand in hand, 100%. SBF will have a well-deserved leaky butthole after prison. Yikes. SBF will probably get a slap on the wrist, although he shouldn't. Other powers that should have also been implicated, though, although not likely to happen, says MK. Still stacking. About to read Going Infinite by Michael Lewis. Should be interesting. Yeah, I quoted some of that in yesterday's show regarding SBF. This fam is the best. Well, I greatly appreciate it. La Familia. One love. Sam's name will change to Samantha. In jail. Jason Bitmarch, Bitcoin 100,000 by the end of April 2024. Shake and bake, baby. Let's go. Smash that like if you haven't. I greatly appreciate that. It's the greatest compliment you can do. It helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Thank you, fam. Well, if you have to drill 2 miles to get electricity, then using a volcano should be way less. That's right. Let's tap into this earth energy. The energy has infinite ether of untapped energy that can be tapped into using obviously things like geothermal. One of many ways of free energy can be accessed. So let's get it. Volcano energy, super bullish, 100%. I used to sell collectibles on there and I still got some to sell, but I'm also really busy with my other stuff. I want to sell my motorcycle for some Bitcoin. Probably be a good move. I once sold my Rolex for some Bitcoin, and I once sold a Porsche for some Bitcoin before moving to Puerto Rico. I'd say both moves were looking back, fantastic moves. I'm glad I did. Yeah, enjoy his interview with Arthur. It's really smart. Thank you, Ellen. Collectibles are super cool, but yeah, I hear about you. Alter shrugged. Word. Bitcoin and Gala Games definitely to the moon, says Tectonic. Definitely soon. Massive blast to the moon. Don't chase the price. Buy the bottom. Very sharp. Only 3 million on the exchanges. Once people realize it's going to pop. Yes, very sharp and on the ball. In theory, most of our belongings that have value are replaceable, so can sell them to buy Bitcoin 3 to 5x our money and build our wealth that way. Facts, fam. A lot of people left crypto. I think they'll return for the big finale after the halving. The exciting thing is none of us really know how much Bitcoin will go up over the next couple of years. And that's what makes this thing so exciting. It's all speculation. But the most exciting time, without a shadow of a doubt, is when we enter that price discovery mode, which ultimately means surpassing the all-time high. And no one has any idea how high we climb from there. I remember in 2017 when I got into Bitcoin, Bitcoin was trading at roughly $1,500 $1,500. And by the end of the year, we were in price discovery mode. We surpassed 19,000. And then we had a crypto winter in 2018 and 2019. Then in 2020, we started getting on the cusp of crossing that 20,000 all-time high. And by 2021, we soared from 16,000 to 69,000 in a matter of 60 days, just to demonstrate how fast the market can explode, especially post-halving. You know what I mean? The year preceding the halving. So for example, we had a halving in 2016, 2017, we hit the all-time high of 20,000. Then in 2020, we had another halving. It was the following year in 2021, we hit the all-time high of 69,000. So if history is to repeat or rhyme, I would anticipate halving 2024, and by the year 2025, all-time high blowing past the previous, which was 69,000. You know what I mean? So we did roughly 3x from the 2017 all-time high to the 2021 all-time high, right? From 20,000 to roughly 69,000. So if we were to only 2x this upcoming cycle, compared to the previous 69,000 all-time high, that's still $138,000 Bitcoin price. And if you're looking at a 3x, we're going to be above 200,000 per coin. Max Kaiser is calling for 220,000 for his short-term target. Do you think we're likely to hit that by the year 2024? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below. Keep strong. You already know. South Africa in the building. Shout out to all my hodlers. Shout out to Sweet Tattoos. Puff hard, cushy. You earned it. Crazy. There are only about 200 to 300,000 whole coiners, and there are multiple in this chat. Well, you're at the right place at the right time. JV Infinity side, too funny. Facts though, Ether virtually has an infinite supply, so how can it be compared to Bitcoin as a store of value? Makes no sense whatsoever. You know what I mean? Bitcoin Trini, what up? Good stuff. Yeah, appreciate it. Much love, much love. I like the stat of 0.133 Bitcoin puts you in the top 5% of the Bitcoin hodlers, and top 1% population wise, you only need 0.03 BTC. We'll get to it, fam. Everyone here in the chat should be a part of the top 1% then. How many 1%ers do we have here? Let me know. Put 1% in the live chat. What's your top 5 holdings? Ask Knife Eats. For me, it's Bitcoin. Want to know what the second best crypto is? There is no second best. Shout out to Michael Saylor. Yes, love those too. Infinitely fascinating. I didn't know the cutoff mark for 5%. Thanks for that one. Yeah, appreciate you showing it. JV, were you a business creator before Bitcoin made it out filthy rich? LOL. I was already an entrepreneur. I made my first $1 million online back in 2012, fam. So entrepreneurship is nothing new to me. And my challenge was always, how do I protect the funds I am creating? And when I discovered Bitcoin, I realized, exactly what we need in this world. Precisely what we needed in this world. And I'll just leave it at that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Justin, you should have a British hodl on your show. That'd be really cool. That would be cool. We all keep talking about spot ETFs, but Chinese buyers through the back door of Hong Kong could be massive this bull run. Let's not forget the Saudi money as well, right? The oil money, which is going to be entering Bitcoin and crypto very soon. I saw something the other day with Kevin O'Leary. We know Mr. Wonderful, and he's talking about a crypto exchange coming out of Dubai, I think in Abu Dhabi, that is going to take over and become bigger than every exchange in the world, including Binance, bigger than FTX ever was, bigger than Coinbase. And he says if the American, SEC doesn't allow the Bitcoin ETF, well, guess what? They're going to allow it. And a lot of people may be opening up shop over there in the Middle East. You know what I mean? I mean, they have insane amounts of money, which, I mean, right now the Bitcoin market cap is only north of 500 billion. That's nothing. There are so many Saudis and people with that oil money that's like a drop in the bucket. You know what I mean? So competition, like I said, is a good thing. We have competition with these ETFs from all over the world. It means the Bitcoin game theory is in full effect. So let's get it. Damn, JV, that's dope, brother. You're smart. Keep your soul, mind, and body strong. 100%. That's what it's all about. Damn, you made yourself rich. Multiple X's. Kudos, my man. Well, I'm just doing what I do. You know what I mean? Just doing what I do. Yes, yes, yes. And for you guys that don't know, we do stream simultaneous every day, not only on YouTube, we're also live on Rumble. But Rumble is where the after party begins after the YouTube stream ends, if you didn't know. So Rumble allows me to speak whatever I want to speak. It allows me to curse. They respect the First Amendment and free speech. So what I'm going to do is head on over to Rumble right now. If you're not following me on Rumble, go ahead and visit rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net or click the Rumble link directly pinned in the live chat on YouTube, and we're going to continue our conversation over there. If you want uncensored JV live Q&A, go ahead, head over to Rumble right now. Again, rumble.cryptonewsalerts.net, or just go to Rumble, type in Crypto News Alerts, or just click the link in the live link. We're going to continue with our after party, and I'll look forward to seeing the rest of you guys over here on YouTube tomorrow. Peace.